Hey, now what's going on? It's Sunday, the 18th. It's a week. Let me just make sure, people. Yeah, it's the 18th, and it's a week from Christmas Day. How are y'all doing? Cheers. Sunday. I need to shave, so what? I'm not doing nothing today, so I'm looking rough, and so what? This video is more of a Dear Diary than anything. Sunday, and I just kind of want to reflect on a couple things in public. I had a really good Zoom session yesterday with my sister Stephanie and her oldest son Kareem. It's very interesting to share perspectives on the world and events with my family, because my family are some smart and astute and observant people, and it was really refreshing and interesting to just kind of talk about an overview of world events. Really, I love and appreciate my family so very, very, very much. They're where they want to be, which is in California, and I'm here in Omaha where we started. And it's just easy to be here, so that's where I'm at. I don't want to be in California. I want to thank you folks. So my little ad yesterday worked. Thank you. I don't get the orders when people buy the record from the label. I just see the movement of the album on the Bandcamp chart for Nebraska because of the link to the label. And I can tell by movement on the chart yesterday that people responded, and some folks bought Future Still. You won't regret it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Cheers to you. So I've been compiling my best of 2022 list, and like I said, I haven't done it in a long time, and it's not something that really appeals to me. Like, it seems like a lot of people listing things, lists and best of, and the year's end and looking back and all that stuff, you know. So what I can tell you is I do have a couple of records sitting down here in my recent plays that are on my best of the year list, and here's one of them. Amaryllis and Belladonna by the guitarist Mary Halvorson. Have you heard this yet? Look at that beautiful artwork. Does the music match the artwork? Absolutely. One album is more with a string quartet. The other one is more of a mixed group of instruments. Both expressions are wonderful, giving a lot of range of expression to the entire group of musicians. But Mary's guitar work stands out. It's unique. She does some things that it's like, that's pretty unique. It's not like it's anything way out. It's just like, well, that's an interesting approach to playing this lick or this playing through this passage on the guitar. Pretty cool. Happily, I got to meet Mary Halvorson many, many years ago. After seeing her play live, she was mind-blowing live. This is sitting down here because there's no room on the space. There's no space on the Porcupine tree shelf. But it does make my year's best of release out list. Closure continuation. I'm not knocked out by this album. Partly why it makes the list is because it happened, and because I'm glad that Porcupine Tree exists, and that it is actually good, and some parts are more interesting than others. I applaud this kind of work and want to see it continue. I love having made the personal connection to one of the members in the band, Richard Barbieri. That means a lot to me. If I see it, yeah, there's the spine. So since I see the spine, I'll grab it. and keep going, because this is another one. This is on my best of the year list. Robert Glasper Black Radio 3. I don't play it a lot, but what Mr. Glasper is about and the musicians that he tends to surround himself with, I applaud, and they're some of the finest. And this is a beautiful thing that he's doing here with this idea of black radio and the elements. I love that color too. This is an important expression. It's some of the finest music. This is a voice that we need, and it's damn good. So the Robert Glasper Black Radio 3 is definitely on my year's best of list. You all know that, watch me know that I've talked about Black MIDI, so you know that Black MIDI is on the list. Another one, if I see the spine. Yes, there it is. Now these are records that I bought, so that's how I'm doing this best of 2022 list. There's records that I would probably have on here, but I don't own them. You know, I've heard some really cool stuff this year, but I can't find everything, and I don't buy everything that I, you know. But the smile, Tom York and Johnny Greenwood. A light for attracting attention. This one definitely, because of the music, because of the expression, because of what they're doing. I love it. This is one of the best albums of the year. Don't care whether or not Radiohead is done. Excuse me. At this point, I think it doesn't even matter. I think Radiohead has done what it needs to do. I gather from observing Tom York that he can't not do art. That's what he's about. And so he just keeps on moving, and this is what he's doing now, the smile. I love it. So that's what I have of my best of that are sitting out. There are other records that are on my best of list, which I've written. I'll show some more. There's always good music coming out. A lot of what's happening in the mainstream, though, to me, is just not of no real... It's of interest, but it's just, to me, sad. You know, the focus of the mainstream, which is so material and non-human. A couple of old albums I played. I'm dipping back into the past all the time, but I think for most people, the holidays are the time of nostalgia, looking back and reminiscing and stuff. And so this is the time when I find myself really getting into what I call my back pages. Just digging up records I haven't played forever to reconnect, to reminisce, to enjoy. Sometimes to disconnect because some stuff doesn't trip my trigger anymore. But here's one that always does. It just takes me back to the hippie time, the hippie feel that I personally identify with and claim. Quicksilver Messenger Service, Just for Love. They had the hit up here. Have another hit. Sweet Air, y'all. Come on. That's a cool-ass song. Dino Valenti. Interesting about the band, too, how Dino Valenti kind of took over the band, even though he had nothing to do with it in the first place, or maybe he did, and then he ended up having legal trouble, so he was out of the picture, and then returned. Anyway, I forget. Great album, and what a cool cover, too. And I like the whole album. I like the flute, and just it has that feel of the part of the 70s that I like remembering. Jeff Beck Group. Boy, this has aged well. Jeff was all over the place when it came to him trying to figure out how to present his guitar playing. And this R&B approach really worked well. This is a good group with Max Middleton, Bob Tench on vocals. I like the vocals on this. And also the solos. Jeff Beck's solos on this. The orange is perfect. It's juicy and tasty, and they still sound fresh, and like nobody else plays solos like that. Jeff Beck is a one-of-a-kind monster. Got into some Gong yesterday. This one is still sitting out. I have... let me just get it showing, yeah. So, you all know how much I love the band Gong. So anyway, I started out by playing this This is the Charlie reissue of the alternate mix of Flying Teapot. Originally came out, I think, in France, and I had one, don't have it anymore. This is a 1986 reissue on Charlie. So I started off playing this with the different cover and mix, and then went to my original. This is, well, I had an original with the black and white Virgin label and just played it to death, and I don't know what happened to it. But I replaced it. This is probably a reissue from maybe 1976 or so. The album came out in 73, didn't it? 72, yeah. But when I discovered Gong, it was a game changer for me, because the music was really good. There was a sense of humor, but underneath the sense of humor is knowledge, and that's what I loved about the band. And the information that they share is still relevant. I'm one of the people who, when they came out, when Charlie did these recent reissues, apparently from not from masters, and these are not authorized, and there's been a lot of hubbub about this. I didn't know. I just saw it and bought it, so I'm glad to have it. But I popped this on to see how it sounds comparatively, and yes, I can tell that this is made from a at least second generation, if not third generation. But I love Gong. So sorry that David Allen is gone already. So glad I met him. He's another person who I'd love to be able to share a conversation with on camera with you. That would have been fun. David Allen? Huh, hell yes. John McRae, if you see this, I'm pretty sure you sent this to me. Horse. This is a reissue of a hard rock / slightly prog band from the 70s. Rick Parnell on drums, who was in a bunch of bands, including Atomic Rooster and Ibis. Adrian Hawkins on vocals, Colin Standring. This is good. It's not far from the sound of maybe Atomic Rooster, but it's got that heavy sound, and Rick Parnell's busy drumming. Rest in peace. We lost Rick Parnell not too many years ago. Rick and I became friends on Facebook. You know, you can be friends on Facebook with professional people and you never talk, but he and I ended up sharing jokes every now and then. He was a strange man, funny guy. Enjoyed that Horse album, so thank you, John. Had lost this, couldn't find this forever, and it was strange that it was stuck way over here in the Z's. When I pulled this Z&R Barricade 3, it's a reissue to play. Wonderful, whimsical, playful, but also experimental album with Hector Zazu and others. For some reason, this µ-Ziq album was stuck, like how these get stuck together, was stuck with it. I've been looking for this in my collection for months. I knew I'd misfiled it. You know, it was, because of the name of the band, µ-Ziq. That's actually an M, but it was like, well, it's supposed to be in the M's, but it wasn't there. Anyway, found it. Secret Garden by µ-Ziq and Mrs Jynx. The cover captures this well. It's kind of a pastel-y electronic sound with nice beats that don't overdo it. Pretty yellow. It's a very nice album. Very nice. So I was really glad to find that. Hope I find my original Cosmic Jokers eventually. So that's what I have for you today. thank you very much. I'll leave the Bandcamp link again, folks. Yeah. Okay. Happy holidays.